45 minutes ago. Taehyung reveals something that made Jungkook cry? What really happened? Welcome back to the channel that brings you the most in-depth and emotionally gripping stories from the world of BTS. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment that moves millions. And for those who've been with us, thank you. You are part of something far greater than just a fandom. You're part of a global heartbeat. Now let's go back to the moment everything changed. The moment that left even the most emotionally reserved member of BTS in tears. It was a quiet afternoon in Seoul, or so everyone thought. But behind closed doors, inside a private studio just a few blocks from HYBE's headquarters, Taehyung sat in front of a camera, something visibly weighing on him. The air was still. His voice, when he began, was steady, but there was a quiver. A quiver that said this wasn't just another update. This wasn't another teaser or vague message. This was something personal. Taehyung began speaking in Korean, carefully choosing each word. As the live stream began to filter out to a few thousand fans, a number that would multiply to millions within minutes, there was something different in his eyes. A mixture of nostalgia and sorrow. "There's something I've kept inside for too long," he said. That one sentence was enough. Twitter exploded. Fans began translating, sharing, speculating. But what came next would not only stir the hearts of fans but break them entirely. Taehyung continued, revealing a deeply personal memory, one that involved Jungkook years ago, during one of the group's most stressful recording periods. He spoke about a night, almost 7 years ago, when the group was rehearsing for a comeback. Most fans remember the era fondly: tight choreography, powerful performances, global attention. But behind the glitter of awards and stage lights, something else was unfolding. That night, Taehyung recalled, Jungkook didn't say a word. He kept practicing, even after the others left. He didn't eat. He didn't drink. He just kept dancing. I went back to the dorm thinking he'd be right behind me. But he didn't come back for hours. The room grew still. Taehyung paused, the corners of his mouth trembling. The studio light reflected just enough to show a tear clinging to his lower lash. And then, softly, almost like a confession, he said, "I found him sitting alone." His face was red, like he'd been crying for a long time. I had never seen him like that. It was the kind of vulnerability fans rarely got to see. Not from clips, not from variety shows, not even from documentaries. This was raw. And the weight of it? Crippling. And then Taehyung dropped the revelation. He looked at me and said, "Hyung, do you think they'd care if I disappeared?" The chat went silent. For a fandom that sees Jungkook as golden and untouchable, unshakable, always smiling, this was like a mirror cracking down the center. The most beloved magne, considered the heartbeat of BTS by many, had reached a breaking point. And no one had known until now. But why did Taehyung choose to share this now? 45 minutes ago, during that same live, he answered the question everyone was too stunned to ask. "Because he saved me too," he said. "And people need to know." The camera zoomed in slightly, just enough to catch the depth of his expression. He then revealed something no one saw coming, a private moment between the two, years later, in the middle of a global tour, where the roles reversed. "I was the one breaking down that night," Taehyung said. "And Jungkook came to my hotel room. He didn't say anything. He just sat beside me for hours. No cameras. No phones. Just presence." The beauty of their bond wasn't just in their friendship or shared stage time. It was in these quiet, off-camera acts of deep, brotherly love. Acts that never made it into headlines. Until now. And that, dear viewers, is when Jungkook, watching the stream from his own space, probably thinking this was just another soft memory, broke down in tears. Fans noticed almost instantly. Jungkook had posted a simple photo to Weverse, minutes before the stream began, his usual calm demeanor, his sleeve rolled up, a casual look. But shortly after Taehyung's revelation, another post appeared. It didn't take long for armies to connect the dots. Jungkook had been watching, and he had felt it all over again. But here's where things took a turn that no one saw coming. Because what Taehyung revealed next wasn't just a memory. It wasn't even about the past anymore. He said there was something he found out recently, something about Jungkook that stunned him to the core. And this, he hinted, is why he decided to finally share the memory with the world. I didn't know how much he had been protecting me until now. What exactly did Jungkook do? What secret has Taehyung uncovered that made him go public with such a deeply emotional memory? And why is this all happening now, just months before BTS's long-awaited reunion? The live stream grew eerily quiet for a moment, not just for Taehyung, but for everyone watching. You could feel the collective breath of millions held across continents. And then Taehyung looked directly into the lens. It was the kind of look that told you he was about to say something he had debated for a long time. I recently found out something about Jungkook that he never told anyone, not even the members. For a brief second, he hesitated. The air felt heavier. Then he spoke. He's been writing letters. Every week. To each of us. The revelation hit like a tidal wave. For years. Since before the hiatus. And he never meant for us to read them. They weren't meant to be shared. But one of his notebooks got misplaced during the move to the new dorm. A staff member found it and thought it was a lyric journal, so they gave it to me by accident. Taehyung's voice cracked. I opened it not knowing. And when I read what he wrote to me, I couldn't breathe. Imagine reading someone's rawest emotions, not curated for public image, not masked by performance, but real, aching honesty written in ink. Taehyung had done exactly that. And what he read changed the way he saw Jungkook forever. He wrote, Hyung, I know you always look calm, like the wind never touches you. But I see when you flinch behind the smiles. I wish I could carry your silence when it gets too heavy. There was silence. Not from a lack of things to say, but because of the weight of what was already said. The bond between Jungkook and Taehyung wasn't just brotherhood, it was protection. Invisible, constant, quiet protection. And then Taehyung revealed something even more haunting. In every letter, he talks about protecting us. But he never once writes about who protects him. Think about that. Jungkook, the youngest, the powerhouse, the voice that carried choruses and hearts alike, was always the shield, the support. But who was watching him? Thank you for watching. If this story moved you even a fraction of how it moved us, make sure to like, comment, and share this video. And tell us in the comments, what would your letter say? To someone you love. To someone who saved you, silently. Subscribe if you haven't already, because here, we don't just tell stories, we reveal truths. Until next time, stay kind, stay present, and remember, even silence has a voice, if you're willing to listen.